So Caitlin Clark made history yesterday. She made history as the only player to have multiple 30-point 10 assist games in WNBA history and a sixth all time. Oh, wait. She didn't. Because according to the WNBA, neither of these are assists. According to WNBA, again, I cannot show these in full whack. So she dribbles down. I saw like 2 seconds of a clip. She drives here. And then tosses it back to Kelsey Mitchell. And Kelsey Mitchell hits a 3. According to the WNBA, that is not an assist. And then she drives in, draws 2 defenders, throws a pass. And by the way, this is not a deflected pass. People are like, oh, the pass got tipped. This pass did not get tipped. The person whose hand looks like it tips the ball is Lauren Betts. When she throws the pass here, like the hand, actually no, sorry, it's Douglas. That hand does not hit the ball. You can see, look at the way the ball rotates. There is no tip on this pass. That is just a pass directly to Mo Billings. No assist. Caitlin Clark made history. She made history yesterday. And 2 of her assists were not given. And by the way, one of them was not given until about 4 possessions later. Another one, where she passed the ball to Maisha Hines-Allen for an open layup. She passed the ball to Hines-Allen, and Hines-Allen took an open layup. And it took them till like 4 possessions later. It took them till like 4 possessions later to to basically go and give it to her. So we're seeing a player clearly getting screwed over by stat keepers. Not only that, one of Caitlin Clark's turnovers, I'm not even joking. Caitlin Clark threw a bounce pass to Kelsey Mitchell. And while the pass was traveling, Kelsey Mitchell tripped over and kneed the ball out of bounds. The ball was just there. Instead of catching it, because she tripped over herself, she tried to catch it with her knee and kneed the ball out of bounds. So a player falling over or knocking a ball out of bounds is a Caitlin Clark turnover. Like, this is why the box score merchants, it doesn't really matter. But the problem is that this matters for MVP. And look, are the Indiana Fever going to win enough games for Caitlin Clark to win MVP? Probably not. If Aaliyah goes down, you're looking at a team that probably won't make the playoffs. We got to be real here. If Aaliyah goes down, Steph White is a coach. Without Aaliyah, without a roster that can pull off bullshit like last year, you look at potentially trading Kelsey Mitchell or trading Caitlin Clark if you're Indiana, because you're either going to lose Kelsey Mitchell for nothing at the end of the year and get something for her, or like you might win too many games if you keep both of them. But yeah, it's one of these things where I'm like, when it comes down to it in the WNBA, the stat keepers are horrendous. That being said, when it comes down to it, they are so bad, but it's always certain players. And by the way, Angel Reese gets fucked by the stat keepers too. It's always certain players. But Paige Bueckers will turn the ball over and it will be given as a team turnover. Paige Bueckers has literally come down with a rebound, tried to put the ball on the floor, and got it tipped from behind 4 times this season. One of them has been called as her turnover. 2 of them have been called. One of them was called as a team turnover. 2 of them were called as team turnovers. One of them, it got tipped, and then she launched the ball at Arike's foot. One was given as an Arike turnover, because Paige launched the ball at her foot when she had her back turned. And one was given as a no rebound. One was given as a missed rebound and an offensive rebound for the Indiana Fever. And we are literally looking at stat keepers doing everything they can to make sure as hell some players have as few turnovers as possible. And when it's Caitlin, there's never been, even from the time she's been in the league, there's never been a benefit of the doubt. Like, Caitlin has thrown passes in her rookie season. She threw a pass Her teammate caught, I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Christy Wallace early on in the year. She threw a pass to Christy Wallace. Christy Wallace took a dribble and dribbled it off her own foot, and it was given as a bad pass, Caitlin Clark turnover. Like, it is madness. It is absolutely madness. And when you're looking at, again, I'm not one that cares that much about the stat sheet. The problem is that accolades are based on a stat sheet. They just are. Accolades are based on a stat sheet. I wish they weren't. Did it make any difference to the game whether or not those assists were called? No. Absolutely not. It made no difference at all to the stat sheet. That being said, to the overall game. That being said, if you are the Indiana Fever, you gotta be pushing for this, because do you want your player to be in with an MVP shout? Because Caitlin Clark, as of right now, let's just say, hypothetically, Aaliyah Boston's fine, she plays, the Indiana Fever end up as a 4th seed. Right now, Caitlin Clark is well and truly looking like she's going to be in an MVP race. Alicia Gray, Angel Wilson, I think Citron will fade. Stewie might pick it up. But, like, it looks like, especially because Angel Wilson is going to have a historically great season to win 3 in a row. It's looking like one of the MVP favorites is getting fucked over by the by stat sheet and stat counters. And I don't know if it's WNBA stat counters or it's literally her own team stat counters. But if this was another team, you better believe behind the scenes. Ironically, if this was Lynn Dunn, behind the scenes, she'd be giving out to the league. She'd be giving out to the league behind the scenes. I think this front office is... Look, I think they are preparing to pull a Nico. I think they are... It's going to take one of two things. If they feel like they've grown the Indiana Fever enough that they're okay without Caitlin Clark, I think they pull a trade her. And I also think if they feel like the Caitlin Clark hype is dying, they will also trade her. It is what it is. And the Indiana Fever yesterday also, I'm making a video talking about this. For the first time since Caitlin Clark was drafted, there was under 16,000 people at an Indiana Fever game. The get-in price was $5. It was essentially free to get in. It was cheaper to get in than it is to buy a Big Mac. And there were still 1,600 free seats. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys.